Hello, everyone. They'll have success, that they'll, be a champion at the end, their own Superman or something. And one of the ways, and this is also talking about student ownership of the goals, and one of the ways that they can do this is they have to be able to tell us. We can guide them and we can tell them the different goals we want them to achieve. There's different levels and things like that. And unfortunately, with a lot of schools, there's grading and things like that. But students have to be able to define achievable for themselves. I really think that for each individual student, it's going to be a different definition of what they can or cannot do. And I'm not saying because of their, it's their experience and also what they want to achieve. Another thing is if you have young learners, you also want to bring the parents into the discussion, because the parents, play a big role in that as well. Even with teenagers in middle school and things like that, it's really important. Yeah, thank you, Sue. Nice to see you, Sue. I hope your son is okay. Thank you for coming for a little bit. Okay, so the next part is they have to map it out, and it has to be specific for them. I really like this quote: vision without action is a daydream, and action without vision is a nightmare. It's a Japanese proverb. And what it means is that I think it's really important students have an action plan. And I think it's important they do goal setting statements. So what I'm going to show you, now here comes the technology part. I promised you I would have that. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you what this looks like in my wiki. We have a class wiki. A wiki is just a web page, if you don't know that. It's a website. It's free for educators. And it's very easy to put things in, embed in links, share with your students. You can even make it private so the public doesn't see it. But my wiki is public. I got permission for that. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my webcam and hopefully share my desktop. Okay, so hopefully, and now you can see my desktop. So can everyone see my desktop? If you can type in a yes, that would be awesome. Okay, great. Okay, so this is what the goal setting looks like. Here we have each of the students, they posted their own goals statements in a wall wisher. So let me try to make it a little bit bigger. Now it's really easy to do wall wisher. All you do is you click on this. Oops. Well, it's not letting me click because I'm screen sharing, but usually you just click on this. And when you click on it, it's going to go ahead and it's going to allow you to stick a note up there. And you can only type 160 characters. So it's really, really, really easy for students to use. Students don't have to register. They don't have to put their name. In this one, you can tell they put their first name only. So they were supposed to make it very specific here. And I don't know if you can read some of it. Should I make it smaller or bigger? Can you read some of the ones there, or is it okay? So the first one, Adrian, he says, I will improve my English. Is that better? And he says, I will improve my English by speaking in a recorder and listening to it for errors. Now somebody else says, I will improve my speaking skills by reading and listening 30 minutes twice a week. So this is something very easy that students can do. They can share these goals. And you might ask, okay, well, why would students want to share their goal statements on the web or in a wiki or something like that, a blog? Well, one of the reasons why is because later on, one of your last lessons is going to come back, or periodically, you're going to come back to these and you're going to ask the students, okay, and did you, 30 minutes twice a week, did you improve your speaking skills? Did you read and listen? And you're able to, when you sit down with a student and you go over, when you go over the specific statements that they made, then you're able to go ahead and you're able to show them and motivate them in case, you know, all of us need some motivation. Think about the goals that you try accomplishing. It's always good when somebody nudges you and says, hey, are you doing that? You know, are you really doing what you committed to? Now, each of these goal statements is different because they're individualized and they're personalized for the student. What I did was I did beforehand a survey that asked the students, what do you already do to learn English? So some of them, they listen to the radio station every day they went to work. So that's what they included as their steps. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go back. But that's one way that we can do that. So let's go back to the presentation. So this is what I mean by specific goal statements. The next thing, okay, so hopefully you can see me again. The other thing, what makes a good goal, so it has to be specific, it has to be mapped out, and then there has to be a commitment. But in order to have a commitment, there has to be a connection. You know, the most motivated students, the ones that really want to learn English, are the ones in our classes that learn English the most. They're the ones who make the most progress. So I think there has to be some kind of connection. If you can help the student find that connection, that's really amazing. This quote says, success isn't a result of spontaneous combustion. You must set yourself on fire. So the students have to be motivated to learn English. They can't just have this thinking at the beginning of the course, oh, my parents made me take this English class. And then by the end of the course have, oh, I'm only here because that is going to be terrible for you. The rest of the year, you're going to have to cope with this student who you know, refuses to do anything, who acts up, you'll have behavior problems. So I think it's good that we try at the beginning to try and find something to make that connection with them. It saves us a lot of time and stress. Okay, so they did their goal statements, they did all of this, they're motivated, they're on fire. So, okay, now they need to know how to achieve these goals. Okay, they made their specific statements, they tied in what they already do in their daily routines. And okay, this is a good point too. Some students are doing nothing to learn English. I've had that too. Well, just ask them what they do every day. So some of them, if they're on the computer every day and check their email, then you can tie that into the goal, into their goals. If they listen to music every day, then you can tie that. If they read every day, maybe they can read a book. One of the things that I had my students do this year that was different was I asked them, not for English learning, but I asked them, think of the last goal you were successful at. And then ask them what kind of specific plan they had for that. So how will they achieve these goals? Well, we have to figure out what defines success for them, which goes into what I was talking about of how they were successful last time. And when you tie that to it, then they're able to